Welcome everyone to our Lions Den Airline and Travel Payment Seminar webinar, and we're going to get started in a moment. This is Chris from AI Events, and I will not be a speaker today. We are going to be hosted by Wendy Ward, our MC for today, or we call Ringmaster for our Lions Den. So our Ringmaster is Wendy. She'll be joining us in a second. So before she joins, I'd just like to welcome everyone and say we were pretty pleased that we had well over 500 registrants. So that was our goal, so we're pretty happy with that. So welcome everyone from airlines, OTAs, hotels, acquirers, and others working in the payment space from around the world. Welcome to this session. We're going to get started in a moment, but just wanted to welcome you. And there we are with our MC, Wendy Ward. So over to you, Wendy.
Yeah, hi, thank you. Good morning, everybody. As Chris said, 500 registrations. This is wonderful. So thank you, everybody, for your time. Quickly to go over Lions Den, for those of you that have not participated, this is a pitching contest. So we've got 4 companies that are going to be pitching their product, and we've got 3 Lions who will be judging for best pitch and best product. And those Lions are Madeline Anderson from Company Evolution, Lori Gablehouse from Ingenico, and Zach Ornelas from UATP. And on the right-hand side, for those of you in attendance, you'll see there's a question section. We do encourage you to put in comments about the pitch as well as ask any questions, and we'll be monitoring that and get to them as we can. And format, we will have 5 minutes per pitch. They are pre-recorded in the essence of time, and then we will go live with the pitching company and the Lions. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get started and to our first pitching company, which is Mike Carlo with XanderPay.
Thank you for allowing us to participate in this innovative forum. Hello to all viewing this presentation. My name is Mike Carlo, and I am proud to represent XanderPay as we explain 2 of our unique product offerings. We founded XanderPay a little under 2 years ago. We've designed our business to address 2 specific payment challenges identified by the hotel industry and its technology partners, as the industry focuses itself on right-sizing B2B payments and moving toward guest-centric payments. 2 industry associations, both HTNG and HEDNA through its Open Payment Alliance Working Group, have pushed for technical standards to streamline the existing processes and to offer possible areas of innovation. We have 2 products which we think fit into the realm of their desired innovation. Our bank transfer guarantee solution, which you'll hear me refer to as BTG, and a hotel remittance solution for when hotel brands start to process payments centrally rather than at all individual local properties as they do today. Our BTG solution has been designed to facilitate streamlined payments between OTAs, online travel agencies, and hotels. The current situation allows for payments via virtual credit cards or through traditional invoicing mechanisms. One is expensive, the other is inefficient. With a VCC, a hotel will pay roughly 2 to 3% to process a virtual card payment. So on a €1,000 hotel stay, a hotel will pay 20 to 30 euros. Our BTG pricing is per booking at a flat fee, so costs are significantly lower. In fact, we had one client, H10 Hotels, that saved 93.7% of their payment processing costs with a large European-based OTA last summer. The BTG solution allows hotels to receive payments from multiple OTAs or other travel companies in one payment through a localized bank transfer through our network of payout partners. For us, it's critical to avoid all SWIFT cross-border fees for the economics to work for the hotel. For the OTAs, the benefit is a bit more complicated. They have become very comfortable with the 1 to 2% rebate from the VCC issuers they receive over the past few years. In the past couple of years, hotels have figured out the economics of this rebate structure and aren't too happy with it. They're paying a 15–20% commission and then 3% to process the payment, half of which might go back to the OTA as a kickback. As the hotels have pushed back, we've seen a number of OTAs consider the BTG solution as a way to improve relationships and terms with the hotels. Using the same payout infrastructure as with the BTGs, we have created a unique hotel remittance solution. We call this product unique primarily because until recently, there wasn't any need for it. For hundreds of years, paying for a hotel stay meant paying in person at a hotel property. Even today, when you book a hotel through a major brands.com or app, the payment details you give are simply sent to the hotel property where they are processed locally to the hotel's acquirer bank. Over the past few years, most hotel chains have started hiring teams at corporate to look after payments. And we see this as a continued trend towards centralizing payments, kind of in the way that OTAs and pretty much the rest of the world currently work. One of the significant challenges is that hotel brands don't have a mechanism in place to pay their own properties because they never have had to do so. With the XanderPay hotel remittance solution, we've adapted our BTG process flow to allow for a hotel brand or its PSP to pay the hotels directly once payments have been centrally collected. We're doing this through a monthly subscription model for the hotel, which will cost far less than a swift wire from the brand to the property. For PSPs, the value proposition of our hotel remittance solution is clear. The PSP will be able to offer its services for centralized payment to the hotel brand with a pre-designed remittance solution to the brand's individual hotel properties. XanderPay will complete all necessary AML and KYC processes, and the PSP can focus on optimizing the customer experience for the brand. To summarize, with the XanderPay BTG and hotel remittance solutions, we believe we will be an integral part of the reimagination of payments in the hotel sector. With the unprecedented devastation of the industry over the past few months, we know there will be a strong push to do things more efficiently. We truly hope to help hoteliers reestablish themselves in a way that is fair and cost efficient in the coming months. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Mike. Before we get started with the Q&A section, I do want to remind those in attendance, we do have the questions section for questions and comments. So please, we encourage you to use that. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Madeline to start the Q&A time. Reminder, 5 minutes.
Hi, Mike.
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much for your presentation. Can I just ask everyone else to turn off their mics, please, so we don't get feedback? Thank you. I've got a couple of questions for you. The first one is around the hotel remittance solution, and that's really about how you go about getting management buy-in across the hotel organizations to implement something like that.
We actually have been working on that with various working groups at HEDNA for quite a few years. I think if you look at hotel payments, everything's done at property. So we've had a couple of different working groups globally to look at a move toward guest-centric payments. The primary driver of that group originally was the outbound Chinese guest. If a Chinese guest were going to a hotel brand in Beijing, they could pay with WeChat Pay, Alipay, no problem. That same guest going to a hotel in New York would not be able to pay with WeChat Pay or Alipay because the payment methods for the hotels are still at the property level. So we've, I think, made over the past 5 years some pretty good progress in getting hotels to acknowledge the need for guest-centric and therefore centralized payment. The SEA requirement that's coming up later this year or maybe next if it's pushed, will lead to a need for centralization to make things like no-show payments work. And then last, we are working with a number of PSPs or acquirers to help them in selling a holistic solution to the brands. So those are the 3 areas where I think we're trying to gain some traction with the hotels. But we are a startup and we're starting to make some progress on this.
Okay, thank you. That's very helpful. The other question I have is around the BTG product, and that's one of the things that you mentioned was the benefit to the OTA is very much as being seen to help develop their relationships. Can I just ask you, have you got any OTAs on board so far?
Yes. I'm not at liberty to use their names. We have, we've been, for the past almost 6 or 7 months, been working with a large European OTA, and candidly, we had 3 others that were going live this quarter that have sort of taken a little bit step back because there's really nothing to process. But we're seeing our value to be maybe not at the Expedia and booking level, but the next tier of OTAs where they're trying to compete with Expedia and booking for best available rates, and they find that payment flexibility is helpful in that. On the other side, we also have a number of global hotel brands and some regional brands that are actually pushing their suppliers to adopt this. And I know of one hotelier that's renegotiating a couple of their contracts to allow for the flexibility for them to determine the payment terms.
Okay,
them being
thanks.
hotel.
Thanks, Mike. That's helpful. That's the end of my questions.
Thank you. Great questions. Thank you very much.
Hey, Mike, this is Laurie Gablehouse.
Okay, now I'm scared. Hi, Laurie.
Don't be scared. So I just wanted to ask you, I know that on the airline side, the ARC and BSP centralized settlement process is really what the hoteliers are kind of lacking. And what your solution provides, it sounds like, is something in the middle of that, where if the larger hotel groups collect the money and then they can use your solution to pay the property?
Yeah, I mean, what we've tried to look at is some of the dramatic inefficiencies with hotel processing. And for those of you who've worked in that area, there are a lot to choose from. You know, just we've done, actually, when you and I worked together, we did a study looking at the benefit of centralized payment. Okay. And so, you know, I think that there's an easy way to, I've actually forgotten your question after Wendy said the 1 minute. I'm so sorry, Laurie.
No, it's okay. I was just looking at the timing between the two, comparing the airline process to this one.
Well, I mean, there are so many complexities that are a bit different than airlines, because for a lot of hotels at this point, there isn't a payment at time of purchase. It might happen 6-12 months later. So we've tried to create a platform that allows for the flexibility of multiple different payment timings, so that as long as, and for our solution to work, there needs to be a contractual relationship between the travel agent and the hotel. Otherwise, we would not recommend our solution. We'd recommend a VCC or regular credit card solution for a non-contractual, non-trusted relationship.
Okay. Well, I think that's an important difference. Thanks, Mike.
Okay, guys, and we are 5 minutes in.
Sorry, Zach. We can talk later if you want.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Wendy.
Yep, thanks, Mike. So with that, we're going to go straight into the next pitch, and we have SafeCharge, a Nuvei company, and I'm going to pass it over to Omri. And Paul, if you can load his video, please. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Omri Dubovi, VP Product Management at SafeCharge. Payment analytics has impacted nearly every industry, including the travel sector. It's no secret that one of the big challenges for travel industry is how to leverage the insight gained from data to make important business decisions. When leveraged properly, merchants will benefit from higher conversion by monetizing their data and identify opportunity to take control of their payment processes. And automated back-office processes provide an efficient, though powerful tool, allowing for deep analytics, actionable insights, and even forecast transaction volumes. We are introducing SafeCharge Control Panel. Through this short tour, you will discover the power at your fingertips. Our control panel is platform as a service, which combines the payment data with analytics into your payment core processes. Let's take a tour at the transaction search. Here, you can manage your transaction, you can perform actions, you can even leverage the instance push-to-cart functionality, for example, in case of flight cancellation, compensation to the consumer. This ability increased your customer trust and your loyalty, as return customers are essential for the travel business. Another important function we want to introduce is the data distributor. This functionality provides you with the necessary control of the automated distribution of data to personal email or hosted folder in order to automate processes at your side when it comes to ERP, CRM, or any backend utility you are using for accounting or other purposes. Our control panel provides full transparency, and transparency is essential to your business, especially when it comes to payments. Showing an example here of transparency in acquiring cost and fees, where this is especially critical for global markets, where travel businesses are looking to optimize the domestic acquiring across the global regions. We are about to launch a new app, the Control Panel Go. We listen to our merchants, and we believe that they need data in the palm of your hands, everywhere, anywhere, at any time. So to summarize, from our control panel, business can benefit from deep analytics, including traffic optimization, which leads eventually to other approvals and conversion, which equals higher revenue to you merchants. Transparency in cost and fees is also an essential pillar in our data strategy, which brings you eventually to better revenue. Actionable insights that we enable in the platform in order to perform voids, refunds, or any transaction-related actions that are possible through the panel are also very important tool that merchant can leverage as part of their back-office operation. We also give your business the control over the automated data-oriented processes in order to maximize your efficiency in the back office and also to have your data streamlined directly into your CRM or ERP. I would like to thank you all for taking your time and listening to our pitch about the control panel. I hope you had some good insights that you will be able to take forward in order to gain more revenue for your business.
Okay, thank you very much. And of course, my landscapers are right outside as I'm saying this. So Zach, I'm going to hand it right over to you.
Thanks, Wendy. Henri, thank you for the presentation. It was great. My first question is, regarding your client base, how do you foresee getting more airline contracts? And within those contracts, what do you see as the capabilities that are most important to help reduce cost?
So thank you for your question. With regards to how we approach airlines, related to our pitch is mainly on the added value that we see in how we manage data and our value proposition, either for airline or for OTAs. That can be related, to many areas of the business. So it can be related to our conversion boosting capability, either on the front end or on the back end, with our routing optimization capabilities around routing between several acquirers, basically more than 30 acquirers, with our domestic acquiring coverage around the world. So SafeCharge and Nuvei, we are an Nuvei company now, is connected to more than 30 partners around the world, and we know to optimize the transaction in order to gain and to benefit both from domestic acquiring from the cost perspective, but also from boosting the conversion and the approval rate in accordance to our data model and routing between interfaces and between different banks. In addition, we have implemented some very unique mechanism on our front end, on our dedicated hosted payment page, which is also something that the majority of the airlines that are connected with us are using
in order to boost conversion with some embedded decline recovery mechanism.
That's great. Omri, I could ask you 50 more questions. I think for the sake of time, though, Madeline, I can pass it to you.
Thanks, Zach. Hi, Omri, it's Madeline. I've got a quick and easy question for you, so to save the difficult one for Laurie. I'm interested really in the ease and speed of integration of your product.
Yeah, so we offer several interfaces for integration. Okay, but I think that the most and foremost interesting and important thing is that all goes through the same endpoint and through the same gateway. Okay? We are not offering here a legacy system rather than a full stack technology payment platform. Either you're using our sophisticated hosted payment page, which is obviously, as we are owning almost all the PCI requirements, is the easiest one, embedding it either as a wireframe or as a redirect. In addition, we offer a RESTful API integration, which you are more than welcome to visit our development site and see our RESTful API integration, which is available. Usually takes from few days up to few weeks for merchant to integrate. Usually this is the preferred way either for OTAs or travel agencies to make business with us. In addition, we've introduced some kind of an open platform where other providers, our gateways, can connect into our payment processing hub, and the traffic can be distributed from there. In addition, the last thing that I'll indicate in terms of integration, that
1 minute.
So in our cPanel, in our control panel, we have embedded the paying functionality, which is a zero effort integration feature that enable both back office management and operations to control and manage payments from there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I would assume we have no time left, so I'll leave it at that.
You have about 15 seconds.
I think we'll leave it at that then.
Okay, thank you then. Omri, thank you very much. Great presentation.
Thank you for your
And
time.
with that, we're gonna move right into pitch number 3. This is Arc Owl and Rob.
I'm Rob DeLeon. I'm one of the co-founders of ArcOwl. I'm here to show you that there's more information available about me if you use ArcOwl 3.0. I used to be a fraud analyst before my time at Arcal. I reviewed hundreds of thousands of online transactions. I learned that business online is a lot of guesswork. Not having the ability to see a customer's face or hear their voice, websites are in the dark, putting a lot of faith in a customer to type the truth about who they are. Websites receive less information than other types of transactions, but are asked to take on the same level of risk. This is where Arcal comes in. The Arcal service adds information that is lacking with an online purchase to uncover a customer's virtual appearance. Needing only an email address or a phone number, Arcal adds up to 90 unique and powerful data points that can help you be more informed about the purchase made on your website. When I was a fraud prevention analyst, I wanted a tool that could provide data on email addresses that was accurate and up to date. We built Arcal with that in mind. We built Arcal to tell the facts in real time with consistency and no guessing. A client of ours who is in the online retail space recently partnered with us in a case study. We tested their monthly volume of 800,000 transactions, 13,000 of which were determined to be fraud attempts. Arcal provided powerful insight to flag most of these fraud attempts. For a number of orders, Arcal data was actually able to determine fraud with absolute certainty, half of which would have been missed by a machine learning system if it did not utilize Arcal. Assuming the loss per fraudulent purchase was $100, Arcal data enables this customer to prevent a minimum of $130,000 per month with absolute certainty. We are so confident in our product that we offer the most amazing return policy that we could think of, the forever risk-free return policy. If an Arcal user is unsatisfied with our service at any point, we have a forever standing reimbursement policy to return money spent on queries that were unused. Contact us. We are happy to prove a return on investment before you pay anything or commit to anything.
Okay. As somebody said, very clever. Liked that. Lori, to you for the Q&A, please.
Thank you, Wendy. So I do have a question about the pay to play, since you left us with that thought. What is the effort involved from the customer's perspective to give you the data for that approach, for that tentative or pay to play outcome?
Yes, it's a play before you pay. We allow the potential customer, somebody who's looking into Arcal, to actually provide us with half fraud data, half legitimate data, and we will actually do the analysis. We'll provide the analysis back along with the data, because we're a data provider, and we will show it's like a face-off between the current system, what we're currently using, and then what Arcal can add to it.
And is your system, in terms of the false positives, do you have a ratio on that?
As far as false positives, when I was a fraud analyst, I think false positives really annoyed me, or false negatives.
Yeah.
I wanted data that was accurate, up to date. So we developed the Arcal product to have real-time data. So if you look at all of our data sources that we provide in Arcal, it's all real-time access of the data providers. So we actually strive for no false positives or negatives. And if we hear about them, we adjust.
And so your business model is to guarantee that you will find the fraud and then rebate it if you don't?
We guarantee that we will provide the information to help. So with the absolute indicators, we looked at a case study with one of our online partners, and they showed us their fraud, and we were like, wow, you would totally miss this fraud if it wasn't for looking at these data points that we're providing.
Okay, so it's a supplement maybe to whatever system they may be using today?
Correct.
Okay. Zach, I'll let you have a chance.
Great, thanks, Lloyd. Rob, I really, really love that presentation. That was great. I also think I've kind of seen that episode in a Black Mirror episode before, and maybe ARC-Al 9.0 or dystopian future, which leads kind of to my question. What happens to somebody if they're what happens to somebody if they're not very online? If I'm not on Facebook or Twitter, I don't Instagram, do I still exist?
Yeah, for the most part, we've found that our coverage is pretty massive. That if there's somebody that's purchasing online, they've probably purchased in the past. We have a first seen date with ARC-Al. A lot of times, if there's no social networks that come back, we see it where an email address was at one point in a data breach or two. But if there's no data breach hits, if there's no social network hits, if ARC-Al has never seen it before, if the phone number is bogus, that's where you kind of look at it and you're like, okay, there's there's no way this could be legitimate purchase here. Sure.
Again, great presentation. Madeline,
Thank you so much.
1 minute.
Thanks, Zach. I agree. Great presentation, Rob. There are a number of other customer identifying software and data providers out there. So what is unique about your proposition?
Absolutely. As far as looking at us to competitors, I would say that we've positioned ourselves to be affordable. Our goal is to be able to be used on every single order that comes through a website. And to do that, you can't be priced at 50 cents to $2. It has to be significantly less to be able to be used on every order. We've positioned ourselves kind of like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, where it's a drink that's sweet that you can use on every meal. So we want to be used on every order and be beneficial on every order.
Okay.
Excellent. Perfect timing, guys.
Hey, thank you so much.
5 minutes on the dot. And thank you very much, Rob. And we're going into our last pitch. So Paul, if you could upload Cardinal, please, and I'm going to pass it over for Bassam's video. Thank you.
Good day. I'm Bassam Shama, Business Development Executive with Cardinal Commerce. I'm happy to be meeting with you all virtually, and I hope that you and your families are staying safe. Today we're going to talk about why you should choose Cardinal for your card-not-present authentication needs. First of all, Cardinal is a global leader in the digital authentication ecosystem and has been doing authentication as long as authentication has been around. We were acquired by Visa in 2017, so we, along with the other Visa products and services, help issuers, merchants, acquirers, and consumers transact safely and securely from wherever they are on any device they choose. Because Cardinal supports both issuers and merchants, our customers can take advantage of the Cardinal Authentication Network. We optimize authentication for digital commerce, tens of thousands of merchants and thousands of issuers processing billions of transactions a year, making the process fast and efficient. We are very active in the travel space and work with industry associations like IATA, ARC, and others, GDSs, airlines, hotels, car rental companies, and OTAs, either direct or through our extensive partner network. So how do we authenticate digital transactions? Our solution is built on the 3D Secure rails, We worked with the original version of 3DS since the late 1990s, and now we're working with EMVCo on the next generation of 3DS solutions, EMV 3D Secure. Our solution has been certified with EMVCo, and we're working with the card networks on the most current version, version 2.2. So what's different about EMV 3DS? The three main benefits are more data collected about the transaction, about 10 times more data than what was used with version 1.0. There's data about the transaction, the device, the merchant, and the consumer. More data can lead to more confident risk decisions. It's device agnostic. EMV 3DS allows authentication from any device. Now, authentication can happen on tablets, mobile devices, kiosks, and will support more IoT devices as EMV 3DS evolves. It provides a better consumer experience. Because of all the data shared with the issuer, risk decisions can be made behind the scenes in many cases. And when an issuer challenges a transaction, it's easier for the consumer, using biometrics or a one-time passcode sent to the consumer. These benefits may translate into higher authorization rates according to Cardinal's industry benchmark studies, liability shift on any fraudulent transactions, fewer chargebacks, and less fraud, and potentially lower operational costs to travel companies due to fewer chargebacks. Why should you choose Cardinal as your authentication provider? All 3D Secure providers are not created equal. You'll want to look for someone who knows the ins and outs of 3DS globally and can help you get the most out of it. Cardinal has customers in every region around the world and keeps up with all government mandates, especially those in the news right now, Europe's PSD2 SCA requirement and India's requirement for two-factor authentication. Someone who works with all card schemes. We support all major card schemes, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, JCB, and others. Someone who has an easy integration approach that can support many types of devices. Cardinal offers multiple integration options depending on your needs and preferences, making it easy for any travel vendor to integrate. We also have SDK solutions for Android and iOS for travel companies' mobile commerce apps. Someone who has robust analytics and reporting. Cardinal has easy-to-use and comprehensive reporting to manage a merchant's authentication strategy and make it easy for representment. So let's recap. Why do you need authentication and why should you choose Cardinal? Number 1. In some regions, authentication is or soon will be required for digital transactions. In this scenario, authentication is even more important. You'll need to choose a vendor with high uptime and system reliability. Choosing 3D Secure gives you a solution that is supported by the card schemes and helps you increase authorizations, reduces fraud and false declines, and provides your buyers with a smooth checkout experience. Number 2. Cardinal has been a leader in authentication solutions for the card-not-present ecosystem for more than 20 years. We have the technology and the know-how to help you implement 3DS. Number 3. We work with many of the leading companies in the travel industry. We have helped them and we can help you too. Choose experience, choose Cardinal. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And for the Q&A section, Lori, I'm going to pass it over to you and Bassam.
Hey, everyone.
Thank you. Hi, Bassam.
Hey, Lori.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. So with the PSD2 changes in Europe, I do think that's probably the top of mind for authentication challenges. How does your solution help customers in that region with the various changes as well as the moving target of a deadline?
Yeah, so there's multiple aspects to this question. So I'm going to target the different things in it. So to start with, PSD2 makes authentication kind of required, right? So having a solution that is basically proven, that can provide you with a high uptime is kind of becomes critical. That's one thing. The second thing is that our integration approach is we have multiple integration options. So integrating into Cardinal becomes easy to whatever size the merchant is. So we can cater for small merchants, we can cater for large merchants, we can cater for partners, technology partners, and so on and so forth. And we do actually have a very large partner network, and throughout the partner network, we can reach even more merchants. So having said that, within PSD2, you have some exemptions. And the way you treat exemptions, you can treat them through rules, and through some of the exemptions, you can treat them through rules. Some of them needs to be on a different layer. So having said that, Cardinal can offer you the ease of mind and can cater for the different alternatives and the moving stick with PSD2 SCA.
So it sounds like with Cardinal and a processing partner, Cardinal solution provides the data that's needed for the exemption qualification, in addition to the authentication of the cardholder?
So there are, if you're going to talk about exemptions, there are multiple aspects in the exemptions. So in the exemptions, you have authentication exemptions and you have authorization exemptions. Cardinal can definitely, through the EMV3DS, enable the authentication exemptions. The authorization exemptions are going to be through the processor that the merchant is using, and we can definitely help with that.
Okay. And with that, I will let Madeline have a chance.
Thanks, Laurie. Hi, Bassam.
Hey, Madeline.
What I'm curious about is the impact of mobile adoption, because obviously during this period, adoption of mobile payments has escalated much faster than anticipated. How is the change in volume impacting you, if at all?
Yeah, so this is a great question again. So EMV3DS is the new version of 3D Secure. And the old version, which is 3DS1, which everyone was used to, was created in the late 1990s, and it was only for websites, and it was for web browsers, right? With EMV3DS, it enables mobile devices because it comes with, it enables the use of SDKs. And in addition to that, it also enables IoT devices. So having said that, Cardinal do actually provide SDKs. We have SDKs for Android and iOS and can work with you for any additional IoT device that you have. That's in addition to our regular integration method, which is through the web browsers. That will enable the merchants to provide the best consumer experience to their customers, and while making sure that they're adhering by the regulations, and making sure also that the transactions are secure, safe, and reduce the false declines.
1 minute.
Thank you. Over to Zach.
Thanks, Madeline. Great presentation. Fascinating topic as well. I think when I think about the world economy right now, I think that we're obviously going to see kind of a contraction as it comes to credit, both in consumer and B2B spend. Specifically in this travel market, we're going to see the same. What should we expect as both business consumers and regular consumers for disruption in the authentication experience? And does your product allow the individual merchant to kind of either dial up or dial down the strength of that authentication process?
Yeah. Hi, Zach. So authentication, so we work with every merchant uniquely. So, and because every merchant is unique. So some merchants prefer to authorize, make sure that they have the highest authorization rates. Other merchants wants to make sure that they have no fraud. Other wants to make sure that they don't have any friction at all. And we actually, through our solution, have the capability to work and tailor to every merchant's needs. So if a merchant prefers to authenticate everything to increase authorizations, we're ready to do that. If they want to decrease fraud and do that, we're ready to do that. So we actually can set up rules based on every single merchant needs and requirements, so that we can optimize their user experience and reduce fraud and false declines.
Excellent timing. Thank you, Bassam. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
With that, we have hit the end of the pitches, and our judges are going to go away and again vote for best pitch, best product. And in the meantime, I'm going to pass it over to Chris, and he's going to have a special conversation with Kiara from MasterCard. Chris, to you.
Thank you, Wendy. And Kiara, can you turn on your camera? My computer has gone Are you able to hear
Yes.
me? Yes, here we are.
Yes,
So,
I did. I think also my camera.
excellent. So I see you. And so we just saw 4 pitches on some innovation, and I'm pretty happy to have you, Chiara, as the head of travel of MasterCard. So can you talk about some innovations that MasterCard has done in travel recently? So what are some of the cool things that you guys are working on?
So definitely, I would say specifically on my side, I think the most relevant innovation is on B2B payment. So definitely during this time, COVID time, I think the industry did realize that there is a need to review the money flows in the travel ecosystem and ensure that every party is protected: consumer, travel intermediaries, and travel supplier. Clearly, this is not the case of some specific legacy form of payment used in the industry. So I really think that the easiest and proven method is to use existing payment scheme products known as virtual cards to manage the end-to-end process for all parties involved in the ecosystem. Again, virtual cards guarantees protection, security, and ease of doing business. Now, going back to your question about innovation, the innovation around B2B payment done by MasterCard is around the launch of new tier pricing. So we are launching 5 new pricing, and just in case you are asking, is lower pricing to allow better flexibility and ensuring transparency for all travel agency and travel supplier, because we thought it was important to support the industry by having very strong commercial relationship in a balanced way. So going back as well as one of the pitch before, we're saying that the industry eventually was pushing back somehow on virtual card and eventually around the cost. And again, card is not only about cost, it's about security and it's about protection. And it's very important and it's, and relevant for the travel industry. Now, if cost was really an issue with the new tiered pricing, I don't think there should be any more concern.
So expanding on that, what is MasterCard doing in the area of fraud and risk lately?
Look, the situation that the travel industry is facing now, most probably one of the most severely affected business, I think, on this, of this pandemic. Okay. What we are experiencing, I think, a lot of trips cancellation, and the industry is now paying out a significant portion in refunds compared to what is receiving in future bookings. So the current situation is unprecedented. And we think that preserving the industry liquidity, of course, is a key priority. So what we have been doing in partnership with government, but this also industry association, we did take measure to help airline, travel intermediacy, travel agency, and other supplier to navigate through this difficult situation. Some example could include, consumer campaign to instill confidence, extended guidance on consumer refunds, and best practice education, like, for example, the FAQ for dispute management, but even suspending excessive refund program and dispute management fee. We also think that we have a longer consumer refund time frame than others, which we believe it's specifically for travel, it's needed, and eventually specifically more in these circumstances. But we do have many other solutions that are helping out the industry. For example, we are leveraging our unique technology, ESOCA, that enables airline, hotels, travel agency, any merchant in reality, to share information with issuer early in the dispute process, so to help all parties involved to proactively resolve the consumer dispute before they escalate further. So this is very important, specifically during this time. But then we also have network tokenization. So we call it M4M tokenization, which helps with e-commerce approval rate. So specifically in this time, every sales counts, even more eventually. And sending end-to-end tokenization transaction to the issuer helps to improve approval rate. And honestly, I think in this difficult scenario, even only 1% improvement can bring significant additional revenues.
So
We do have as
I
well.
did hear a
Yeah.
great fact this morning that U.S. carriers, I don't know if it's true, were reporting that they finally are seeing more sales than refunds. So let's hope that's the case. But that was in some of the industry news this morning. So I thought I would share that tidbit with you, and let's hope that's the case.
Yeah, I actually read something specifically also to cruise line, and so I think hopefully we are on the right path, most probably. And going back as well to your specific question on the fraud side, we have tools as well to prevent fraud, but not only specifically in the payment flow, but also in the account takeover. The solution is called for new detect. But also considering this time, and if merchant want to, I would say, to offer installment solution that allow the split of large amounts payment with minimum, I would say, with no risk for the merchant, this will encourage the demand eventually during financial crisis.
So
Okay?
MasterCard has a solution that globally for installments.
Yeah, we do work with Divido or GFIT for this as well. Okay, so I really then recommend, I would say, eventually merchant to go back either to me or to the MasterCard strategic merchant team to look for, I would say, further enhancement. As well, I would say in this critical time, what is important is loyalty and differentiation are going to be critical to retain the most valuable customer of the travel industry once operation resume, around the world. So Session M, that is one of the solutions, allow airline to personalize offers and specific marketing campaign, targeting the right customer and the right moment so they can improve eventually further the engagement. So all the solution plus the B2B, I would say, virtual card that, as I explained before, I think that our key solution, that product that we can offer to the industry today, and we are in constant engagement, I would say.
So I think that's interesting that you talked about two angles of loyalty, how you can help your customers do personalized campaigns and engage customers, but you also have an account takeover solution. Because I believe that, I personally believe, and I think there's some data to support it, that the fraudsters are being active at the moment and are certainly taking over an accounts. And once there is a volume of transactions again, we should see quite a bit of account takeover fraud. So interesting that you're working in both sides of that. So I think with that, Wendy is telling us that the judges have reached a decision. Is that correct?
I have, yes. Thank you, Chris and Kiara. And everybody look at your screen. We do want to have this poll. It's about the best pitch in today's Lion Den. So go ahead and cast your votes.
So we have about half of you have voted. We can close it off in a few seconds, but I would encourage everyone, go ahead and give us your vote. So you get, this is your opportunity to embarrass the judges, possibly. So we can see, and I guess I hear Lori's voice, so I believe Lori is going to be the one to sum up. So with that,
and I'm gonna, yeah, go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
I can close the poll, Wendy.
I think so. I think we're probably at a good number. I can't tell how many have answered, but
I will share the results.
Oh, there we go. And with that, I want to bring Lori on. So Lori, if you can give us the judges' synopsis of both the pitch and the product, and then tell us the winners right at the end.
And I will close my
camera. I'm going to mute because, again, you can hear the outside noise here. Sorry.
Yeah, so from the judges' perspective, we found that the best pitch, we kind of, I think, agree with the audience there that ArcAl did the best pitch. It was very unique and very clearly positioned their product and the data that they can provide to help any merchant make a decision about the validity of a transaction. So we agree unanimously on ArcAl as being the best pitch.
Okay, thank you very much. And from the product side?
And on the product side, we think all of these were very interesting products and very different. So unique set of choices here. But in the end, we really felt that the relevance of what Cardinal is offering right now in terms of its global reach, the regulatory challenges that are facing Europe, and how Cardinal covers all the schemes and devices, that it was the best product at this time. So we went with Cardinal on the best product.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. Chris, if you want to pop back on. But I just want to thank everybody for their time today, to all the pitchers. I thought, great presentations as well as great products. I think all very timely in this day and age, since we're in, I hate saying unprecedented because I think it's overused, but there is no other better word, I think. But as Chris and Kiara were talking about, I think we are seeing positive bookings. Everything that I read in the news today, we're on the upward trend. It's going to be some time before we're anywhere back to where we were in 2019, unfortunately. However, any positivity that we can bring, I like to point out. So between hotels, car, cruise, airlines, we're seeing a positive trend. So that's the good news. And I thought today went exceptionally well. And thank you to, again, the pitchers, to the judges, to the audience, to Chris for putting this on. I mean, well done, over 500 registrations, that's amazing.
So
And some
Wendy,
words from you.
if I can thank you. So thank you, ATP, for being our co-host since of these airline and travel payment summit events since 2008 in the spring in Toronto, when I think I first met you. So it's been 12 years.
Yeah.
So it's been great 12 years. So happy to have you. And how can people reach out to you in UATP if they want to find out more about your role in the payment space?
Yeah, sure. Very easy. Just go to our vanity email address and it'll be marketing@uatp.com. And that'll come straight to me and to my team. And we'll make sure that any information that's needed by anyone in the audience is received timely.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you, Wendy. Thank the pitchers. Thank the Lions. And thank you all for joining us. And we hope to see you at the next one. I'm sure we'll repeat because we had a waiting list for pitchers this time. So we will be repeating. So thanks,
Excellent.
Wendy, for doing the MC, and thanks everyone and signing off. So thanks for joining our webinar.
Take care and stay safe.